You have an obligation to do something. In the Parsha this week, the section of Torah we read about the 12 spies that Moses sends into the land of Israel as we're wandering in the desert. There's fear, there's concern. Well, what's the land going to be like? Is it safe for us to go in? So they send 12 spies in. 10 of the spies come back. It's scary, it's frightening. There's huge people. We can't do it. No, it's impossible. 2 of the spies, a significant minority, Joshua and Caleb, said, it's possible. We can do it. If they hadn't put their necks out there, if they hadn't taken a stand, if they hadn't raised their voices, we'd still be wandering in the desert. We would have never gotten to Israel if they stayed quiet. But we're in Israel today. 6 million of us are in Israel today. And them, along with us, we've got to take a stand to ensure that we remain in the land safely and securely. Being quiet is not going to do us any good. Now, we all need to find different ways to make a difference. For some of us, it's going to be as simple as going to a rally or writing a letter. For others, it's going to be, it has been, making aliyah and serving in the Israeli military. A couple things tonight. When you leave tonight on the credenzas out in the lobby, you are going to find some information. First, I want you to continue to get the facts. Go to I've listed a bunch of different websites on the sheets out there. You can go to our blog. You can go to different websites. Don't just trust the news that you turn on at night. Don't just trust CNN or Fox or MSNBC. Watch them all and then go online. Go to the Jerusalem papers, the Israeli papers. Go and get the truth. You can figure it out. But what's being put out there for most of the world is not the truth. Once you learn the truth, speak out. Challenge people. Be proud that you are part of this Jewish people. Be proud of Zionism and of Israel. Out in the lobby there are sample letters that you can send to your politicians. I've included all the addresses of our politicians, including our senators, our congressmen, President, Vice President, and Secretary of State. I'm happy to say that Debbie Wasserman Schultz has come out strongly in support of Israel, as have all of our other local representatives. Ron Klein and others as well have spoken out in favor and support of Israel's right to defend herself. Our 2 senators have yet to come out to support Israel, and we have to tell them that we want them to. I'm sorry, Alcee Hastings has not come out yet and supported Israel. So we've got to write to them. They've got to hear that we are expecting them to support us. I'm going to be ordering this week a large amount of Israeli flags that will be here. Pick up, put them in your yard, put them in your car, put them wherever you go. Fly the flags. There's a rally on Sunday. Again, information is in the lobby. Sunday in Miami. It's a nonpartisan rally. There will be Democrats and Republicans and people of all different flavors and colors and shapes and religions speaking and taking part. Go and be a part of it if that's your thing. You gotta find your thing. The best thing you can do is hop in the mayor's luggage. Because they're doing the ultimate. They're saying, it's my country, this is where I'm going. And I'm proud to be going with a few of you a few weeks later. Somebody said to me, are you going to cancel your trip? No. Why? There's still no safer place on the face of this earth. Israel will not let anything happen to her people. Some of us love peace. I say all of us love peace. But we have to accept the reality that peace is a long way off. It's sad, but it's true. It's not going to happen in the near future. Not until Hamas says, Israel, you have the right to exist. Because until that happens, how can we negotiate peace if we don't acknowledge that Israel has the right to exist? Lots of us want to pray for peace, and we talk about peace, and we sing about peace, and we want shalom. But we have to be very patient. Every single person in Israel fighting wants peace, except some of the few crazies. Even our people, we've got the crazies. But the vast majority of Israelis want peace. To say otherwise is absurd. They're not fighting just to fight. They're not putting their kids on the front line just to fight. They're fighting for their actual survival. And if you're saying, I can't be bothered with this, I mean, the Gulf is filling up with oil, and there's enough, so I've got my own problems, and Israel's Israel, and I'm an American. Well, I want to share with you a little line from the story of Purim, our festival of joy. This is Mordechai speaking to Queen Esther. He's telling her that the Jewish people are in danger of extinction because of the decree of Haman. And Esther's now living in luxury. She's living in the king's palace. She's his wife. In many ways, she is probably immune to this threat of Haman. But she's got the power to stop it. And Mordechai says to her, do not imagine that you, Esther, of all the Jews, will escape with your life by being in the king's palace. Who knows? Perhaps you have attained to royal position for just such a crisis. We American Jews, we're living in the king's palace. We are living in relative peace and security as Jews. It's easier to stay quiet. My own mother gets mad at me because I put an Israeli flag outside my house. Why would you do that? Someone's going to throw a rock at the house. You know my mother. It's easier to stay quiet, but we got to put ourselves out there, because if we don't, what happens if the unthinkable happens? If that lunatic presses the button? You think we're going to be immune to the destruction of 6 million? What happens when Israel is condemned by the world, including our own country, for attacking Iran to prevent the unthinkable from happening? You think that we in this room are going to be immune to that condemnation? We in America, we have the power and the right, thank God, the right to raise our voices and act to ensure the survival of Israel. I hope and pray that every single person who loves Israel, Jew and non-Jew, uses that right. I want to end with the words of Ron Nachman, who's the mayor of Ariel in Israel. It's a town north of Jerusalem. Tyler, make sure you go visit and tell him we say hi when we read his words. All right? He writes, now more than ever, the world needs to open its eyes. Danger is imminent, and we cannot keep silent. At a glance, Israel's borders may seem reasonably secure, but more and more of the world is gradually putting Israel under siege. Boycotts, sanctions, relentless pressure from the media and the United Nations continue their encroachment. We cannot, we must not remain silent. I urge you to speak out. Speak out for Israel. Speak out for democracy in the Middle East. Speak out for the one and only Jewish homeland. Speak out because it's the right thing to do. Speak out because you care. Speak out because silence is not an option.